So The Woman King has been in South African cinemas for like, I think 2 weeks, and I was so on time. I watched it on the first opening night because I'm a.Thuso Mbedu fan. This is a.Thuso Mbedu stan account. Like, my first YouTube video was me talking about Thuso Mbedu in the Underground Railroad. Excuse me, fan. And let this fan introduce herself. I am Lungile. Thank you so much for clicking on my video. If you have not surmised, in this video I want to be talking about The Woman King. Please make sure that you subscribe to my channel and give my videos a thumbs up. Alright, all good things to say about The Woman King. I love the film. I love everything about it, and I see like in the Twitter spaces and social media there's been like some mixed reactions about the film. Some people were like, the film is good, but I kind of get what they were going for. But let me just say, I'm here to gush over how nice and amazing and beautiful and great the film is. Now let me provide you with a summary, and I wasn't about to summarize it myself, so I just went on the internet. imdb.com has a nice little summary of the storyline. So they're saying The Woman King is the remarkable story of the Agoji, the all-female unit of warriors who protected the African kingdom of Dahomey in the 1800s with skills and a fierceness unlike anything the world has ever seen. Inspired by true events, The Woman King follows the emotionally epic journey of General Naniska, played by Oscar winner Viola Davis. What a phenomenal lady. As she trains the next generation of recruits and readies them for battle against an enemy determined to destroy their way of life. Some things are worth fighting for. Now, who is this goddamn enemy determined to destroy their way of life? The Europeans, of course. The white men came with their ship looking for slaves. What's the word? The story arc is the slave trade. Okay, so the kingdoms or the villages, they fight and then they kidnap each other's people, and then let's say Dahomey and Kingdom B had a fight and Dahomey stole Kingdom B's people, then Dahomey will sell Kingdom B's people to the white people with the ship. Slave trade. So yeah. But I mean, I just want to talk about General Naniska as the lead character. I think she is a well-written lead character. I saw some interviews with Viola Davis where she was saying how they write black women. The black woman has no past. The black woman character has no depth. The black woman character has no complexities and stuff like that. And I think with this film, they completely succeeded in achieving that. So yeah, General Naniska, so she has a past in this movie. Her past, she was abused by a group of men, and now in her present, the past comes to haunt her when one of her abusers shows up in opposition of Dahomey. She has a moment there where she's like, oh my god, what to do, but she keeps her composure and she wants to go get him. Like, when this man re-enters her life, the memories of her trauma, the memories of her past come back to just flood and assail her, and that's where we see the strong friendship, the sisterhood between her and another character called Amenza. I love Amenza. She considers herself something of a clairvoyant. Like, she got her little instruments and she could read them and she could tell the future. Naniska doesn't seem to take her seriously, but she was right in one of her readings where she said somebody from your past is gonna come and be a threat to you. I just loved the sisterhood between the two characters. I mean, they are all fierce warriors, but when they were together in private, there's a softness to them that I just want to highlight. Yes, they're warriors, but they did have moments of softness to them. So another thing about General Naniska is she is a trusted advisor to the king. The king looks to her for guidance and advice regarding the prosperity of the kingdom and regarding the protection of the kingdom, because those two things go hand in hand. The king looks up to her highly, which then sort of leads to two other characters being extremely jealous of her. And one of the characters is the queen. Now, the king, the king got a lot of wives. I don't know, 10 plus, 20 plus. I didn't count, but there was a lot of women there. Pretty, beautiful, well-styled. Yes, darling, serve. So, anyways, yeah, the king got a lot of wives. I didn't count how many. And the queen bee wife, Queen Ashanti, she wanted to be the one that the king listens to in all matters, even the matters of safety, even matters of prosperity. No, it wasn't working for her, especially because her viewpoints were opposite of what Nanesca was suggesting. So the king was leaning more towards listening to Nanesca than listening to Queen Ashanti. Queen Ashanti didn't like that, you know. And also, why does she want to be the only female that the king listens to? She's one of 20 wives. 20. They're in rotation. Next week, somebody else might be the favorite. She might fall off favor with this goddamn king. What you doing with so many wives anyways? Like, do you have enough time? Me, in that situation, I'd be that wife that just vanishes and disappears. Like, I have all the benefits of being a wife, but I do nothing towards being a wife. I would cheat in being wife, not cheat on the king, because then, of course, I'm sure I would be killed. But anyway, back to the story. Second person who was jealous of Nanesca's position with the king is another general, a male general. I don't remember his name, so I'll call him the other general. Sorry. So, the other general is played by Steve Ngezi. Was I pleasantly surprised to see Steve? Like, let me tell you. So first, I follow Thuso Mbedu on Instagram, so I see she's posting photos because they are promoting the film in South Africa, and I see Steve Ngezi in his lovely blue outfit. Child, he looked nice, and I'm like, is he the MC? What? And then a few days later, I walk into the cinema, and he's one of the cast. He's not just an extra. He doesn't have just, 2 words. He's part of, yay, Silva. I was so proud of him. And another face that I saw was Ndate Sebuta. Good to see you, my man. I saw a couple of other faces. This other dancer, she's one of the soldiers. I was glad she doesn't get killed at the end, because like, you're my homie and all that. And there's also Umkhele. So Bonka Koza is in the film as well. I think he has just one line, but listen, the man looked fierce. I'd be scared of him. So yeah, congrats to all the South Africans that were in the film. Back to the story. The other general, of course, initially is jealous of Nanesca because he wants to be in good standing with the king as well and whatever. So initially he opposes Nanesca, but in the middle of the film, there's a point where they start seeing eye to eye on certain measures, to the point that when Nanesca defied the king or the king's decision, the other generals supported Nanesca. That would have been a perfect time for him to ingratiate himself with the king and be the new favorite, but he didn't. He supported Nanesca. Good man, smart man, because Nanesca made a good decision. Put the homie first. Thank you. But I want to say, besides the queen, none of these characters were selfish. None of these characters were self-serving. And whatever they did, they kept the homie first in all decisions that they made. And also, General Nanesca's story is interlinked with one of the new recruits named Nawi, played by my fave, Thuso Mbedu. The amount of proud of this girl I am. I've been following everything she's been on, from Scandal, Greed and Desire, Istunzi, what's this thing, Down South thingy? Sugar Down South. Like, anything Thuso Mbedu has been on, I have consumed it. I didn't watch Generations though. About Generations, whatever. I mean, baby girl had to get paid. So Nawi is this spunky, full of life, ambitious, driven, rebellious young lady. How she ends up being part of the Ajogi recruitees as motherfucker. Her father arranged a husband for her, and it was a man her father's age. Now, what is a 19-year-old supposed to do with a man her father's age? The heck? So girls like, no, I won't marry this man. Plus, that man slapped Nawi in front of her parents. The audacity. The fuck? And her parents didn't do anything about that. Instead, her father takes her to the king and be like, she don't listen, you decide what to do with her. So that is how Nawi ends up joining the Agoji. And yeah, she just became a thorn in Naniska's side. She just don't listen to no goddamn rules. She's just headstrong and just, heads along with whatever she want to do. Loved it. Love the story. Love how it intertwines with Naniska's story, how she's somehow part of Naniska's past. I love her relationship that she developed with Azogi. Like, Azogi was like big sister and now it was like little sister and stuff like that. I just love the kinship between them. And speaking of Azogi, she was my other favorite. She was just so full of life, so spunky, so self-assured, so confident. She knew she was the ish. She just knew it and she just flaunted it around. So the movie, like I've been hopping on, is done really well, and I totally loved everything about the movie. The setting, this is set in an African kingdom in the 1800s. There seems to be a tendency when telling African stories where there would be an underlining feel of poverty in the African setting. There was none of that here. Looking at that community, looking at the home, you could tell, hey, this is a prosperous, thriving African community. Also, the woman's outfits, there was nothing mediocre about it. There was nothing all that costumey about it. I mean, you could tell it serves purpose. These are fighters. They will kick, jump, the works. So they needed that type of outfit. It made sense. The hair, I like the variety in the hairstyles. And back to Naniska, I loved how when she was like out as a general, she had the mohawk on, because you can't have your hair on your face, girl, when you're fighting. Gotta be away from your face. And yet when she was just in her private moments in that bathhouse, her hair was out and she was pretty and cute and feminine and just, yeah. Another thing I want to raise is when I was watching the movie, there were moments where I was sort of holding my breath. Like, there was a scene with Naniska and Amanza sitting in Naniska's room and having this deep conversation about wada. And I remember as I was watching, I was like, please don't kiss, please don't kiss, please don't kiss. I did not want any of those women of Agoji to have any romantic relationships with one another. Because I felt that not that I have anything against the LGBTQIA plus story being integrated into film, into TV shows. I'm down for that. I'm completely supportive of that. I mean, there was a very flamboyant male character in this movie, but for the women of the Agoji, I did not want any of them to have relations with one another, because I felt like that would have been detrimental to the film and to the image of the dark-skinned black woman. Now I am going and jumping into the concerns that certain people have expressed on the social mediums about this film. Okay, certain people were like, yeah, they are kind of tired of the dark-skinned black woman always portrayed as a warrior, as a fighter, as a protector, even a protector of men. It does not favor us. That image doesn't favor us. And I will say, I kind of feel that way. I mean, listen, here in South Africa, I think it's a little bit different. Our portrayal in our TV shows and movies, we mix it up. There's all complexions of a black woman, could be in any role. But I understand why the other commentators, which were mainly American, had an issue of portraying the dark-skinned black woman as a fighter, a warrior. It's because it's been portrayed like that in American shows, and this is an American show, and they're trying to stop Hollywood from portraying a dark-skinned black woman as a warrior, a protector, a fighter. And I guess in comparison to a light skin or a white woman who would then be the damsel in distress, who can be fragile and whatever and stuff like that. I mean, the queen was a dark-skinned, beautiful black woman. A couple of the other queens also resting in their femininity over there. But also, like, yeah, whatever Hollywood deems as a standard, it trickles down to the rest of the world. So I do support those commentators' opinions of it doesn't do good for the dark-skinned black woman's reputation to always be portrayed as a warrior, as a fighter. Also, just thinking because Wakanda Forever is coming out as well. We're gonna see a little bit more dark-skinned black women as warriors. Maybe, I don't know. We shall see. Yeah, I kind of get where they're coming from, but like as I've mentioned before, there were moments where the women were presented as softer. Like I mentioned before, Naneska's bath time, that showed her as soft, and the relationships that the ladies, the sisterhood that the ladies had with one another, I think that presented them as soft. And Nawi was queen, flirtatious, darling. Nawi was freaking flirtatious, in her movements, in her interactions with the other person from across the ocean. I mean, she was a love interest, the warrior, and the fighter, dark-skinned, beautiful woman, was somebody's love interest in this film. But do I feel like that was enough? I kind of don't think so. But do I care? Not in this movie, because I am just focusing on how good the movie is and how much I enjoyed the movie and how happy I am that my girl Thuso Mbedu is in a Hollywood blockbuster. Excuse-moi. Yes, girl. Another thing, there was no sexualization of these women. I kind of view that as a good thing in a movie with like 80% women. I kind of like that there was no nudity. There wasn't even kissing. Somebody was somebody's love interest, but we didn't even see a kiss. We didn't see the king kiss none of those wives. We didn't see Nawi kiss that man. I kind of like how it was kept clean. And I don't know why, so here we are. The next concern that people seem to dole out about this film was the historical inaccuracies. When I was reading the summary from IMDb.com, it said inspired by real events. So I didn't lose none of my hair over the fact that there are historical inaccuracies. Of course, there will be historical inaccuracies when it is based on true events. First of all, nobody was really there to see is this really what had happened, and also the writers and producers have to keep their own story in mind and just follow that story. If you know of any film, TV show based on real events that depicts the events as let me know, because none of them are completely able to do that, to depict the true historical events without taking any liberties in switching the story up to suit their needs, and stuff like that. So yeah, that is me going gaga over The Woman King. I loved it. And all my other friends that have watched it, they also loved it. If you watched it, let me know if you loved it. And yeah, that's all I have to say for today. Once again, subscribe, thumbs up. Bye.